June 2012 Core 4 question 3 is your binomial expansion one, and we've got two of them to do here, and then we're going to play about with it in the last part there. So the first one, we've just got we got a 1 at the beginning, so we're trying to be nice just to begin with, and we can just say, so that's 1, n, the power there, times by the x1, and then we've got n times n take away 1 over 2, and the 4x thing squared. Careful that it's going to be the 4 squared there as well. Tidying this up, it starts with a 1, 4 times a half is of course 2. What have we got here? We've got a half, we've got a minus a half, well it's going to be minus at the end of it, isn't it? All of that here is going to be an eighth. Here's 4 squared is 16, 16 divided by 8 gives us 2 again. And so here is the first expansion. Second one starts this time with a 4, and so we have to remember that we've got to take out the factor of 4. This is 4 lots of 1 take away x over 4. Look, 4 times 1 makes the 4, 4 times x over 1 makes the x. And this needs to be all to the power of minus a half. So we've got to do 4 to the power of minus a half. And then we've got to do this expansion here. This expansion is going to start with a 1, and then it's going to be the n value, that one there, and the x part there. Then we've got n, and we've got n take away 1 over 2, and then we've got this thing here again squared. Tidying it all up, well, 4 to the power of minus a half is actually a half. That's square root it and then put it 1 over. And I have to confess I did end up using a calculator here. Plus here we've got x over 8. Now that bit was fine. But we've then got all of this here. We've got half, another half, another half. We've got, what, 4 squared there. That's 128, isn't it? This wasn't the bit I used a calculator. It's later on I used a calculator. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 negative signs. So I put a plus here, and we've just got a 3 at the top there. So I've got 3x squareds and so on. Finally, I'm going to times it by a half. So I've got a half plus x over 16 plus x squared times by 3 over 2 of those over 256. There's the second expansion. Well, when is it valid? When does it work? Well, it works when this thing here is lower than 1, when the modulus of x over 4 is lower than 1 times by 4, and the modulus of x is less than 4. It works between minus 4 and 4, or modulus is less than 4. Right, so part C, how are we going to combine these two things together and work this out? This thing we're trying to do is the square root of 1 plus 4x over the square root of 4 minus x. Notice I've already split it into 2 bits. Well, this is the bit that we did to start with, and this is the bit that we did secondly, because look, we got 4 minus x to the power of minus a half because it's on the bottom. So all I actually want to do is multiply my two answers together. I want to do 1 plus 2x minus 2x squared from the first bit, and I want to multiply that by a half plus x over 16 plus 3x squared over 256 there. Also, remember, we haven't got to do all of it. We've only got to do the up to the x squared bit. So we've just got here to start with 1 times a half, we're getting a half. There's the first bit. Then we've got our x term here. So we've got x over 16 from that bit there, and the other bit there, we've got another x, haven't we? 2x times a half, we've got another x. Let's change colour for the other bit. We've then got 1 times the bit on the end, 3x squareds over 256, and then we've got the 2x times that bit there, which is 2x squared over 16, and finally we've got that bit there. That's a minus another x squared. This is the bit I did the calculator. So it leaves us with a half here. We've got 1 and an extra 16th. So we've got 17 sixteenths here. And then trying to work all these out into 256, working all of those out on the calculator, I got 221/256 x squared, which was the answer. Here's question 3. looks so short there, doesn't it? Taking 5 minutes there.